China is stepping up efforts to boost quality consumption, expanding access to better goods and services. So, what does that mean for global consumer brands? And how can companies in lifestyle and retail adapt to the changing trends? Welcome to Doing Business in China, the podcast where we talk to industry leaders shaping the future of business and sustainability in the world's second largest economy. I'm Tu Yun. My guest today is Willie Tan, CEO of Skechers China, South Korea, and Southeast Asia. Welcome to the show, Willie.
Thank you very much.
So let's first begin with a big change for Skechers. The company has recently gone private in a deal worth over $9 billion after being acquired by the New York headquartered investment firm 3G Capital. It's considered a significant moment for Skechers. So how will this change actually affect Skechers' operations in China?
In fact, I welcome this privatization, and it's going to give us more leeway to elevate our business and make us more efficient and effective in years to come. So I'm looking forward to see a lot of newness into our Skechers family.
Right. I think the whole company looks forward to that. So correct me if I'm wrong. I understand Skechers entered the Chinese mainland back in 2007 and now has close to 3,500 points of sale across the country. So what drove the decision to go big on brick and mortar retail instead of sticking to mainly to the digital channel?
In fact, we are in both channels, both digital and the offline, the physical store.
Right.
And we started in 2008. It's already nearly 18 years. And through that time period, we opened up tier 1, tier 2. Then there's more property being built. So we are part of that. As the digital start, we are also with the digital sales platform. And my philosophy is I adapt where the consumer would like to see us and to buy from us. So we are also quite big in our digital, and we invest heavily in our infrastructure to make sure that we are in the game and to deal with our consumer.
Just how's the composition? It's like half and half, or which part is
We
bigger?
are 30-some to 40% on e-commerce.
Right.
And then on the offline, it's about 60 to 65.
Any plan to increase the digital ones? Or?
We will. We adapted to change.
Right.
So when the consumer would like to see us more into the digital, we'll be there.
Right.
Now, especially recently with all this live stream setup. And so this thing is increasing the digital business because the consumer enjoy that.
Right.
So we'll be there. We will see. We will react to the market. And but one thing with our offline, we would like to put up a beautiful store. We would like to expose our product because consumers are touching them. So those are how we're going to deal with our consumer. And then of course, the digital, we need to invest a lot in our foundation, make sure all our technology, our data are all integrated to all the platform that we can react very quickly to the consumer demand.
Right, to keep up with the times.
That's the key, yes.
Right. So how does operating in China compare with other major consumer markets? Can lessons from other places like the United States be directly applied here, or does China need a totally different playbook?
China is totally different.
All right.
Because of our channel setup are totally not identical with, for example, United States or Europe.
So in what way?
In the United States, we have a major department store
Right.
leading the retail. In China, we are mostly on the mall, on the street. And so the channel are more different. And in the West, the business are mostly wholesale driven. And then in China, we are more retail driven.
Okay.
And then in China, when it comes to digital platform, we have Alibaba, we have JD, we have Douyin, we have BIP.com, and they develop a different kind of sales channel format. In the United States, we don't have this. Okay. You know, sometimes in the United States, you just go with Amazon.com or your own brand website. And then all this.
TikTok?
TikTok started to be there, but it's operating quite differently.
Okay.
So in China, our digital platform are very aggressive in getting the consumer to those platforms. They compete among themselves. So for us, we also need to develop different kind of product to deal with different platforms. So it's a totally a different approach. And then of course, our technology is platform technology and the service provider. And so in our IT department, we need to invest heavily to make sure that our connectivity with all the platform, with all the service provider, with the logistic, it's going to get the product to the consumer in the perfect form.
I understand in 2020, Skechers set up an Asia-Pacific Product Innovation and R&D Center in Dongguan, the southern province of Guangdong, and investing more than $8 million US. It has an imaging studio and live streaming facilities like you just mentioned, and it also expanding logistics operations in eastern Jiangsu province. So what was the thinking behind those moves?
You know, to be in business in China, we definitely need to have a very strong foundation. China is the second largest economy in the world.
Right.
So we cannot underestimate our consumer. And it is not true that we can bring product from the West and it's going to work with our Chinese consumer. Our Chinese consumer are very demanding. And then we have our own culture, those kind of things. So through that requirement, we decided that we need to put up an innovation center in the southern part of China because the value chain that require between Dongguan and Fujian province is just only our neighbor. We can easily get in to get all the product development here in Dongguan. And then since we are already over here, and then we also need, because of the digital requirement, we develop our own studio. So we need to develop our digital asset. Every single product has to go through to our studio. And then we have a group of people there developing all kind of digital asset to deal with our digital market. And that is on this. And then at the same time, since we're already over here, we develop our live stream studio. So because of direct to consumer, and this thing is going to be massive, it's going to be huge because of you are dealing directly with the consumer. Then we are talking to the consumer and sharing our product DNA. So these are all investment that we have done. And because of the scale that we have, we need to have our own logistic. So we built a huge logistic, automated, advanced in Jiangsu, Taichung. And it's amazing. It's a massive investment. We invest over 4 billion RMB.
Right.
Yes.
That's about 500 or
nearly
500
500 million. Yes.
Right,
So, but this is also because I'm a partner.
Right.
And this is also showing my confidence into our market, into China. Being a partner as a Chinese, so I have an opportunity to know our own country.
Just curious,
Yes.
I learned that your family was originally from Fujian, but you established this center or this major production line here in Dongguan or Guangdong. So why not Fujian?
Because in early 20, we invested a property where our innovation center.
All right.
So we have this foundation. But in Fujian, we place a lot of our orders.
All right.
In Jinjiang, in Putian, okay, Fuzhou. We put a lot of our orders into that. We also have satellite development infrastructure in Fujian. We just happen to have a ready infrastructure to build what I described. And then, of course, when it comes to, again, to our logistics, because China is huge, our product SKU are pretty wide. So we need a very sophisticated, data-driven logistics center.
Right.
That we can get our shipment on the digital as fast as we can. So our infrastructure dealing with digital are pretty advanced. And all this infrastructure is not identical what we have in the West. So that is the difference between how we operate in China. So in China, we need to be very localized. Yes, very localized, yes.
Okay. Then you talked about this localizing R&D. I bet it's not an easy task. So what have been the biggest advantages and challenges of localizing R&D and content creation and supply chain functions here?
You know, I'm very fortunate on this joint venture that we put up very, very, very good, because my partner, they develop a wide range of footwear product,
Right.
world class, comfort technology, and every single product that we have in the shoes are shining. And then we need
Chinese partners or?
my U.S. partner.
All right.
So they develop a wonderful product. So now we need to do some adjustment
Okay.
that fit into our consumer, fit into the weather, because we have a very extreme 4 season. So, and the Chinese consumer, they will adjust what they wear based on the weather, which is good for us because they keep on changing their outfit. So it's very good. But of course, it's good, but we got to have a product to be in the store during the weather that was happening. So I would say that on the product side, the localization for us, some of them is adjustment on what my partner created, and then at the same time, we need to put our product to the store at the right time during the weather that we are dealing with.
Are there any challenges? Or
A lot of
you
challenges.
feel it's tough to conquer? Or?
Oh, you know, China is an absolutely quiet, difficult market to understand. Unless you live in China, you deal with it.
But
Because
we're all humans. What are the differences between the needs of people of two different countries then?
this summer I traveled to Europe. I also went to the United States and then in Asia. So in a couple of weeks, I can see the difference on the consumer during summer, how the European, the way they dress during summer, the way we dress here in China, and the way they dress in the United States. And even the Southeast Asia, are totally different the way we dress. And of course, it's our culture, our history. So we are more conservative the way we dress as compared in Europe. Okay, so it is our culture is just different, just within China. The consumer in Shanghai and the consumer in Chengdu, Beijing, Quanzhou, Tianjin, they dress a little differently. Some of them are a little aggressive, some of them a little more conservative.
But in the past, we used to pursue what's popular in Western countries, especially developed countries like the States or Britain or those European countries. So are these trends changing now, or is there any, like you said, Chinese cultural features infused in those trends then?
I will say the old days, it is the Western product has quite a bit of influence to us.
Yes.
And today, it has reduced. we have our own character.
Okay.
So that is the most challenging, is understanding the change on the consumer behavior. Our Chinese consumer used to believe in a lot of Western product.
Yeah.
And today I'll say, no, not much. In other words, they love it, but at the same time, they also not ashamed to say that I would like to have a local product. So within Skechers, we are, I'll use the word, Skechers in China is half Chinese because I'm their partner. So, I adapt to the local consumer. Okay, that the trend that they like. We have our character. We have in China our very strong character.
Yeah.
We are not like, we used to be a follower. Now we are not really a follower. We have our own thinking. We have our own light. We have our own way to dress ourselves. So that is the most challenging that I'm facing in China, because the consumer also changed very quickly. Very, very quickly, yes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to establish a R&D center here in this country. And are you saying that there will be one day that maybe Chinese fashion will lead the trend?
It is happening.
All right.
It is happening. Look at Pop Mart. They're all over the world, right? And then the old days, that we thought that only global brand will come to China. Now we see the China brand are heading to the West, yes.
Then those are the good side of this task or mission. Yeah. But given the ongoing U.S.-China trade tensions, are there any new risks associated with expanding your logistics footprint in China?
I will use the word, the geopolitical situation.
Right.
And slow recovery in real estate has set back to us in China. But we still have 1.4 billion consumer. We still have that consumer.
Right.
So it's not true we will be entirely, the consumer market will collapse. It's not true. Our economy are pretty widespread.
Right.
So it is difficult. It is a CEO strategy. Is how to deal with the complex, challenging market. But it is true. It's difficult because of unpredictable. But does that mean that there's no way to do the business? It's all up to how we manage our product, how we communicate with the consumer, and that's how I look into China. And for me, I believe that it's an opportunity, because during the challenging period of time, is testing how good your strategy will be and how you're going to attack the market.
Yeah.
That's how I read it, yes.
Then would you say over the past nearly 20 years here in this market, now is the most challenging time for Skechers?
Absolutely.
In what way?
It's uncertainty.
Oh, still uncertainty.
It's still uncertainty, yes. It's not...
Brought about by this geopolitical tensions.
Yes, it's just not only us. It's the globe is also have quite of uncertainty. So the uncertainty does not only apply to China, it's applying quite a bit to many nations.
All right.
Yes.
Was there ever a moment, when the company seriously considered moving its production lines completely out of China to avoid potential risks? No,
because for us in China, for me, my philosophy is simple: in China for China. So my requirement, we make most of our product in China, probably about 90% or 95%.
Right.
So we will. It's also cost efficient to have a product China for China, and today we can still manufacture the best quality of product, and there's no reason to leave China, especially for the product that we are supplying that do not have any impact.
All right, let's turn to this new consumption wave here in this country, which I think might help Skechers lift its or improve its performance here, probably to some extent. China is now focusing heavily on boosting domestic demand. And how is Skechers aligning its product, marketing, and retail strategies to ride this new consumption wave then?
You know, for us, we always believe there's an up and down with the consumer.
All right.
And the confidence. So we're very focused. We are very focused on our product. We are very focused to put more technology into our comfort product. So we have a Goodyear anti-slip. We have our Arch Fit. We also have our Slip In, and that we have a beautiful running shoe. So what we're trying to do, the first one, we got to be focused into our product. Make sure that our product are readily available when there's a new wave or wave that's coming in that is going to lift the consumer confidence.
Right.
So that is, and then non-stop, we are communicating through our marketing with the consumer as we see that fit. So we are getting ourselves much closer to the market in a lot of aspects. So whatever move, we want to make sure that we are ready to communicate. Somehow we are seeing things that's happened. It's giving us a very short period of time to react. So we also have infrastructure to deal with how the market reacting. Yes.
Right. It seems Skechers has been, adapting to the changing situation very, I can say, fluently, right? And has been moving deeper into lower tier cities across country. So what kind of trade-offs maybe come with that strategy?
We just want to extend our footprint.
Yeah.
To reach out to more consumer. That's why we're going down to lower tier. So we are following some of the footsteps of the local brand. And we are not really penetrate wide yet, which is very good. That's our open space in the future. But the footprint, we're just trying to reach out more to 1.4 billion population.
Right.
And that's why, as a CEO of Skechers, I'll say I might be one of the CEO. I travel probably nearly 300 cities myself. And so that I have a chance to see what I'm dealing with. I just want to let you know, China is just so beautiful. Those lower tier city, clean. It's not like, it's a backward, it's a very, becoming more modern. It's not difficult to reach, We can either go by high-speed rail, we can go by car. The food are wonderful, people are great.
But how can those things, change into or turn into purchasing power?
That's why we're opening store. We're opening store. And then the beauty about China today, everybody got a phone. Everybody following. So now we're putting a lot of investment in our social media so they can get online. And then, of course, if we have a physical store, they have a chance to see our product, they can touch it. And then it's give us quite a bit of exposure. So opening up the store in the lower tier city does not mean that we need to have a lot of sales there. As I believe we have some city have more sales on e-commerce, on the digital, than the physical. But the physical, they see, oh wow, we have the Skechers here. So that when things come in the social media, our product, they'll say, let me take a look into that. So when they get into trying to know us, they will then learn us more. There's a lot more white product. When they pass by the store, they might stop by. They would like to touch our shoes. They want to try our shoes. And then that gives us quite a bit of exposure. Yeah.
Right. Then you said you traveled to over 300 cities across the country?
Yes.
Right. According to your observation, then what are the main bottlenecks holding back consumer spending in China right now? And what policy changes do you think could help stimulate consumption further?
I would say that the recovery on real estate is one setback.
All right.
Yeah, that is because of everybody, we Chinese love to own our own house. So sometimes we thought that we get rich because of the value. And then sometimes we forget that, our value go down. So that is, in my opinion, that is one of the uncertain that we have. But I do believe this is a short term. This is a short term because we have a great leader in China that they can deal with the complexity. So for us, in business side, we just need to be look into this thing very positive. If you're not to be positive to deal with China, I will say I think you need to rethink. And then, but visiting so many cities is just a beautiful country. And then the consumer setback is a very common. In other words, that there's a time your consumer are going up, there's a time you have a setback. Yes, we might have a little long setback for a while, but I absolutely believe that the Chinese government are doing a lot behind us, thinking a lot that more resources will go in to bring up the consumer confidence, because everybody knows that the consumer confidence will bring a positive to our GDP.
But if you're asked to come up with some suggestions for the government or for the leadership, what would you say then?
You know, I will say they know what to do.
All right.
They are expert.
You have every confidence in them.
I have a confidence. They have enough think tank. We have very talented people on that side of the world. In other words, that they know how to deal. The government here are very intelligent. They honestly, they do not need me. They understand.
They need your advice.
They already understand. They really understand. I absolutely believe they are not. China today will not build a beautiful Shenzhen, a beautiful Shanghai, because they know. We are underestimating sometimes their capability. I have a high confidence about our leader. So, you know, any advice I give, they know.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to say.
How might Skechers respond if the market slows, continues, or hits a longer plateau?
We will stay put, and then we have a rolling buy. So we will reduce our buy. We adjust to the market. And based on what I'm seeing, I don't think we can go worse than what we have, number one. Okay, and that's what I believe. So the most important is whether our supply chain can react when the market go up. Otherwise, we can stay put, and wait and see, okay, and adjust. But one thing, when we have beautiful product, your business will continue to climb up a little bit. You might have less consumer to buy, but you still have consumer buying. Okay, so it's a game of where the consumer would love to buy from you or not. For example, I'm seeing a beautiful Hong Kong. Hong Kong economy has been down. My business has not slowed down.
All right.
So it's really a game of product, yes. The same thing, I have noticed there's a downtrend in Singapore. Our business still hang on. The same thing in Korea. So it's a game of the product. I'm a pretty positive. But of course, that's why I say, that's what you say, I agree. We slow down, yes. Stay put, right? And then let's look how the consumer are reacting. And then we just need to be ready when we are ready to go. But some of our beautiful product is also surprising me. The sales that we are having. It's a game of product.
Yeah, you mentioned you have every confidence, or your performances in those Southeast Asian markets actually is improving, right? But on the Chinese mainland, where you have every confidence in, the situation, like you said, is it's not so good, or remains flat. Is it mainly because of the fierce competition from
yes,
other?
Of course, absolutely.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. We have great product. Our competitor also have a great product. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Then how is Skechers going to, win this battle?
Because we're different. Okay, they have a running shoes, the way they deal with it, and I have my own different way of communicating it. So Skechers, one thing beautiful about Skechers, we are Skechers. Okay, we are not whatever brand, but our Skechers, we have a wide range of product. We have a product for the entire family, and we sold hundreds of million pairs already. So we have hundreds of million people has tested our shoes. So we've been in business for 18 years. So, and those consumers love us, those consumers know us, those consumers try our product. So the most important, we need to maintain and to be better, because they will buy shoes and make sure when they make their move, they will think of us often. That's why we have the word comfort, technology. So we give you a very comfort shoes. We attach technology behind that product at a reasonable price that you can afford. And we hope that kind of strategy is something that we maintain our consumer today, and we are building more consumer for the future. Yes.
Then more details for Skechers' long-term goals for the China market.
I love to see the 1.4 billion people wearing my Skechers. That is the joke. But the truth is, we would like to be loved by the consumer in China, and we will do our very best to come up with a beautiful product, and that is affordable, and that's my vision. And today, with the digital, we are rich. We can be reached to easily by the consumer.
Yes.
Yes. It's just continue to be very focused to come up with right value of product to the consumer at the right time, at the right place.
If there's some other, foreign investment hoping to enter this market, especially in footwear or consumer goods, what suggestions would you give them, or do you still imagine or consider China a good place for foreign companies to manufacture and invest?
Absolutely. China has a lot to offer, especially on the supply chain. Our skill, our automation, and the AI development and robotic has been massive. And being part of that kind of supply chain, there's a lot of new creativity that's happening within China. And that is why I say that I would say missing China is not a good strategy. Now, coming to China, you also need to spend time to learn the China capability and a little patient. It's the same thing when we go to any other country. We also need to have patience. We need to learn the culture. It's pretty identical. It's pretty identical. It's just whether my advice is you get to trust the government. If you trust the government, please come. It's just like when we invest in other country. Why we invest? Because we trust the government. So if we don't trust the government, I will say, think about it.
Then why this government instead of others?
No, I believe that we are more stable.
All right.
We are very stable. A lot of people don't understand us, but because they did not do their due diligence. But if they start thinking more about China, wow, they're going to say that we are a very stable country.
Social stability.
It's stability, right?
Then do you have any lessons to share with the other global brands, especially those maybe your future rivals that wants to expand in this market?
No, I'll say that, first of all, as a Chinese, I welcome all kind of investors to come down here. And the market is for all. In other words, that doesn't mean that you're going to be my competitor. Everybody is my competitor. I am their competitor. So that competition is always there already. Doesn't mean that one investor come in, we will collapse. No such thing. So we just welcome all kinds of investors to come down to China, and then just try to know China and offer a better product to our consumer. And for me, when I do business, I just want everyone to be happy and healthy. So if they come in, it's win for all. Why not? This is a huge market, 1.4 billion population.
Yeah, you keep mentioning that figure, 1.4 billion consumers right here in this market. Yes, indeed, it's a massive market. But coming to this final question, why do business in China? I guess you've already mentioned a lot, but apart from the gigantic population, are there any other factors that make Skechers stay and keep growing here?
I say the rest are irrelevant. If you don't come to the second world largest economy, that's all. The rest irrelevant already for me.
Okay.
It's irrelevant, yes.
Okay, it's all about the size of the market.
Of course.
Okay, right. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Willie.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is CGTN Radio. Hear the difference.